Okay, I'm going to speak about this in a kind of fast way because this is a speed up video. The blue line represent the water coming from the bladder and the storage area. We want to install one pipe, one of two pipes. We may have to install two pipes, one here and one in the middle of the plot, to ensure that we get enough pressure, because of course this is a flat piece of property. And so here we are moving our 3/4 of an inch distribution, or the main distribution line, which would be the black 3/4 of an inch lines. We are running it right along to get between the trees, and then from this we would be punching it to get to the tree to make the circular part where we would apply the mulch on top of it, and of course the black lines would be stapled down to the ground with our metal stapler. So here is the tree that is used as an example to show you. Now one onto the left, and of course we would be punching left and right of the pipe to ensure that we maximize how many trees we could cover with one 3/4 of an inch distribution line. So the orange line there that you are looking at, our pink line, we could go left or right to do multiple plants with one line. And of course we bring in that 2 to 3 meters of cable. We do the T right there, we make the shuttle, connect it back to the T, and clamp this down to the ground. Make sure that this stays under the bagasse from the cane and whatever else we use as mulch, so that in a dry spell season we are actually addressing some drip irrigation and some mulching. Here, if the cable is finished, and a cable is 500 feet, this could be about 500 feet, we would join the cable with couplings. I will show you what the couplings look like in a while. Instead of elbows and T's, elbows and T's are more expensive, and this is very flexible drip lines, so we're gonna use that method. We run it along, so that's another 500 feet. Again, we are trying to maximize with the design to get 2 or 3 plants. In some case we'll take 4 plants from one branch, what we are calling a 1/4 of an inch distribution branch. We might be able to punch 2/4 of an inch and go further in. You don't want to go too far from practice with a 1/4 of an inch, because the pressure in the water flows does go down. So we want to go about 20 feet for the most. Again, we join back here and we swing the cable. So the diagram is showing like if there's another cable, that's just because of how it was originally drawn, but now we're gonna swing across and just bring in the cable here. Try to get it separated far enough, and do this with the join it like this with a proper coupler. So this is a coupling joint. So here we continue to do the same thing, but what we have to achieve is to consider that when we run this cable, because it's flat, the pressure coming from our bladder may not be so high. We are using drip irrigation, which is taking out pressure at every tree. We may want to consider terminating the first run somewhere around there and do a second run that is based on the pressure. Now, just for calculation's sake, each cable is 500 feet, and the length from end to end is around 327 feet. That's what I'm showing there in terms of measurements. So we would be basically running 20 lengths of tubing, and from the 20 lengths, of course, we have to do the 1/4 of an inch where a lot of the work would be. So to me, there is the maximum we should force the water to run, and then terminate to that end for the first run or the first service line. Bring another service line in the middle of the plot, and then do this all over for the rest of the plot. And that is because when you look at the map, the contour, you could see that there is just a slight gradient from the blue up there to the down. That's from the north. I'm showing you here to have an appreciation. It's not any great gradient to help us pull water down by gravity flow. So we would definitely need to consider that, because remember, the water is leaking out in multiple locations when we install the drip in the 1/4 of an inch around each tree, and that would bring the pressure of the water down. So that's our design for now.